Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spit It Out podcast. My name is Eric.
Ashley.
JC.
And Joey.
Welcome back to the Spit It Out podcast. Hope everyone had a safe week and a positive week. It's been a pretty interesting week for me. At a personal level, just dealing with some stuff. My grandma, 94 years old, she's not doing too great in regards to her health. It's just the age thing. It's nothing to do with COVID. And just kind of coming to terms with that in regards to when will it happen. It's the fact that it's almost a blessing and a curse. Not a curse. Like, I guess bittersweet is the better word. Because, you know, she's on oxygen and you can tell that her breathing is very labored and stuff like that. So you kind of want her to go just so she's not suffering.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want that to happen because then she's gone. I don't know how my dad's taking it. Me and him haven't really talked about said topic. I dealt with it in my own way. You know, I already cried already and stuff like that and just felt the guilt in regards to, not that it's anything in my control, because 2020 was just such a mess that I basically didn't see her for a year. For two reasons. One, COVID, and two, just my own reasons. Like, wasn't making it a priority to go see her. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to COVID, I didn't want to, God forbid, I got her sick. You know, I didn't want that on my conscience either. But past is past. You can't move on. I mean, you can't dwell on it. And my last day off was Wednesday. I went and saw her, had lunch. You know, she seemed fine, talking, you know, and all that. But
I think that's one part that's going to make it a lot more difficult is the fact that there were boundaries, there were things that were just separating you from getting closer with her, especially recently. But to make things a little bit softer on it, it's not entirely in your control. It was something that you had to take those measures because you didn't want to make things worse. So I'm not going to blame you for having that disconnect, and probably with other family members as well. I mean, similar things happen with, as I mentioned in a previous episode, with my grandparents, where there was a period where I couldn't see them, and the next thing I knew, after my grandfather passed away, my grandmother was completely white. There was one opportunity where I could have seen her, but as my mom described it, from when she went to see her, she wouldn't even recognize me.
Well, Eric, I know, and I'm sorry for everything that you're going through, you know, but also I understand your pain and everything because, believe it or not, and April 10th is going to be my dad's first anniversary that he died, you know, last year, and everything, and it seems like you just snap your fingers, you know, like, and I remember everything perfectly, you know, like at night, my brother calling me, crying and everything, telling me that my dad is gone, you know. And the same way like you know, the remorse in my, like, I didn't go to see him just because of my busy life and everything, and I have gone through these kind of scenarios, you know. But seriously, you just not prepare for anything like this, you know, because this is how life is gonna continue, you know.
I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, going off what you said, that's life. You know, you come, you go. You know, we've talked about time in the past in regards to, you know, using your time wisely. You know, be productive, better yourself, you know, be a positive impact on yourself and others. We talked about all that in the past. But now when it comes to time, in my mind, it's, you know, don't get so caught up in grudges and things like that, especially with people you care about. I mean, you're just going to be bumps in the roads with your boyfriends, girlfriends, brothers, sisters, parents, cousins, whoever, best friends. And the quicker you can bury the hatchet and move on and continue the relationship, the valuable relationship that you have with those people, you never know when your time card is punched and it's the last time you text that person, see that person, talk to that person.
I want to say last 2 years leading up to my grandparents passing away, I definitely felt a lot more connection with them, whether it was getting to sit down and talk with them more often or getting to better listen to what they had to say or reminisce on things that they grew up with or things about the family anytime we were able to meet. And it seemed a lot more cherishing, even though I had no idea at that time that was going to be so close to their end.
Yeah.
Just enjoy every minute with them, you know, because you see, like, for example, when my wife died too, you know, like the same day, it was a Saturday, You know, in the morning I got up and everything. She was fine. I made breakfast for her and everything. She ate. So I had to go to work. I think at 1, something like that. So I get ready and everything. I come to work. It was a Saturday. I remember everything. Because I came to work and around 6 o'clock, my sister-in-law calls me and she goes, come over home because Sylvia doesn't want to wake up. She went into coma. And that's when I was there. And Marcos was there. And Marcos, I gotta go. I just got a phone call from my sister-in-law that my wife, she doesn't want to wake up. And coming home and everything, I just go into the room and I see her like, just lay down, you know, totally like, she's gone. Sunday morning, a lot of people were in the house already, her family and everything. Close midday on Sunday, that's when she died. But my point is like, see, in the morning, I hold her, I give her a kiss, I made breakfast for her, and not knowing 24 hours later, she was gonna be taking her last breath, you know.
There's a lot of good. I mean, there's a lot of positives you can come out too. You know, like the whole mourning phase, and you know, you'll heal over time and things like that. But if you can keep their legacy going, their memories alive, you know, it's almost, you know, reassuring that all right, they had a great life, positive impact on you and the people they cared about. You know, if I can just take a little bit of them and live my life the way they did, allow them to live forever.
Yeah, you know, in the Mexican culture, there's this belief that when you die, you need to tell the stories to your kids, how it was everything, your life and everything, you know, like you say right now. Because in the Mexican culture, the belief is like when people, you still remember people after death, they continue being happy. They continue coming after, because in Mexico we celebrate the Day of the Dead.
Right.
So they're supposed to come to us on that day, you know, to enjoy whatever they like on the food and everything. And they say also when you don't say their name no more, or you don't remember them,
Oh yeah.
they die. They totally die. Yeah, but who knows? You know, we don't even know.
Never know.
We never know.
How's your weeks? Anything cool? Anything interesting?
Well, let me tell you my Thursday, because that was an interesting Thursday for me. So in the morning I get up and everything, and I get ready. I go to the gym, and over there I'm talking to Juan. Is the name of the trainer. So I'm talking to him, and we're talking about emotions and everything, you know. And he's like, how you really controlling your emotions, your character and everything. And I was like, well, I still have trouble with that, you know. Sometimes I get really anxious. Sometimes I get really angry. And he's like, well, I know that's a little bit hard, you know, like to really learn to control your emotions, but you can do it. And I was like, okay. During the day and everything, I go to work. All day it was totally fine. It was a problem on my last table. Is this young couple from New York? So the girl asked like, hey, can I have a margarita? And I say, can I see some ID? And the guy goes, oh, you gonna ID us? I say, yes. He goes, okay. So they get their phone out and everything, and they show me their ID on the phone. And I'm like, I cannot take this. Oh, so you're not gonna get us the drinks? I say, no, I'm not gonna get you the drink. They look like 20, 21, or maybe a little older, but I'm not gonna be like also for anything, you know, like losing my job. Okay, let me talk to the manager. Say, like, okay, I go to get the manager and everything. The manager comes to them and say the same thing. You don't have a valid ID, you have on your phone, we're not gonna give you the drinks. And for that, after that, he starts asking to the host and other server like, get in the drink. And the guy's like, no, we're not gonna get you nothing. So I come to the table and everything, and I'm like, all right guys, so are you gonna order something? And the girl goes, yeah, we're gonna eat because we've been waiting here and we're hungry. I say, okay, so what can I do for you? And the guy goes, so you're not gonna give me the drink? And I stared at him. I was like, papi, I've been telling you this. I'm not gonna get you anything. I'm not allowed to get you nothing. I don't see your ID. I cannot get you anything. If you guys wanna stay, I will take your order. I will take care of you, and you're gonna eat and you're gonna be happy. He goes, okay. So the girl goes like, all right, just stop pushing that, because they're not gonna give us alcohol. And the girl give me the order and everything, and the guy, and I say, okay, my friend, so what you gonna eat? And he tells me what he's gonna eat, and I was like, and you want me to get you some Coke or some water? And he goes, no, I want you to give me that, I don't remember the name of the thing, it's a blue alcohol, color blue, and he goes, give me that. I say, I'm not gonna get you alcohol. What's so difficult for that? And the girl goes again like, just leave him alone, okay? He's not gonna get you the alcohol. And I was like, okay. So I go back again. I go to do the order and everything. I grab some water, some cokes, and they ask for it. And I come, and the host comes to me, and he goes again. This guy went to me again, and he said that he wants me to get him a drink. He was giving me money, and I was like, don't bother him, don't mind him, okay? But for that, at the beginning, when I was taking the order with them, he goes, you know what? I'm not gonna tip you because you don't wanna give me my drink. I was like, I don't care if you don't tip me. Just tell me you're gonna eat, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So during the whole hour, he was picking on me. All the time I was there, like for anything, he was like, I just can't believe that you're like this. You could have made a reception, give me my drink. No one is gonna know. I was gonna give you a nice tip, and all that stuff. Okay, I was like, all right, whatever. So I got the food, everything, and like 10 minutes later, he was like, let me get some to-go containers because we need to go. So okay, I grabbed the to-go containers and I'm paying attention to them. So they have the drinks and everything. They were drinking pineapple juice and the waters, and I was like, the pineapple juice they barely touch it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get them cups, everything. So the most possible for them not to be like giving an excuse to continue talking, like talking back.
Mm-hmm.
So I get everything and I come back and the girl goes, can I get the lids for the to-go cups? And I was like, I brought them. And she goes, no, I don't see him. And I see on the plate, and both lids are on the plate with soda. And I'm like, they're right here. Here's your check, and that's it. So the guy stands up right away, and he goes, next time I come here, I'm going to be the share of you. And I turn around to him, and I'm like, why are you waiting for the next time? I'm here. Do it right now. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, I'm right here. And I start walking towards him, and I'm like, what are you waiting for? And I started getting loud. So Angel saw me, he comes to me and he goes like, Juan, come on, just go back. So I started going on the other side because I didn't want to give my back to him. So I started going to the other side and he continues talking crap and everything, screaming and everything. And I got back to the kitchen and I'm really, really angry at that moment. And I just go back and forth on the kitchen like a fucking lion in the cage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I go like this and he went out and everything. But that was happening to me on Thursday. So as you can see, as a server working on the business in the restaurant industry, we go through a lot of shit, you see. It's not because of us, we don't want you to give you the things, It's something like we need to check on something. Like you have a proper ID, I will attend to you the way it is. But you don't have proper ID, I'm not gonna do anything for you.
Even where I work, we don't serve alcohol where I work, but when it comes to different coupons and stuff, there's always an argument about it on the phone, and they're like, this one expired, can I still use it? I'm like, no. Because it expired. There's a common topic on this podcast is because that's something that we all relate to is serving.
It's serving, yeah. Restaurant business.
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, I'm not saying that, we're not saying tips or anything like that is mandatory. We're not saying that, you have to treat us with stellar respect or anything. But, be a little more compassionate, be a little more understanding.
We're as much people as you are.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
And when we're busy, we're busy. It's not like don't take it personal. We're not ignoring your table for whatever reason you might come up with. It's you and I have 3-4 other tables, or it's your order plus takeout orders, delivery orders, things like that. I think the biggest thing that I think would help people in the food industry the most in regards to dealing with guests or customers, what the fuck you want to call them, I think it comes down to patience. Your patience with them and their patience with you. Right, I have a short fuse sometimes, and I think a lot of people know that. And what gets me the most when I'm dealing with customers is when we're very busy and they ask for a delivery or pickup. I'm like, yeah, give us like 45 minutes to an hour. Like, we're backed up. And they're like, okay, it's fine. Hour at the dot, they call, like, where's my food? I'm starving. And I'm like, I just make something up. I'm like, yeah, it's on its way. It just left. It could still be on the oven for all I know. But I'm like, yeah, just give us some time. It just left when I hang up. And I'm thinking to myself, like, shut the fuck up. First off, I told you 45 minutes to an hour. You're going to call us within the hour being like, where's my food? I'm starving. And that's the thing, too. Like, I hate when people say, like, oh, I'm starving. Like, I'm whatever. I say it, too, sometimes. So, like, I try not to. You don't know what starving is. You're waiting for food for that night. It's gonna be delivered. Right? When there's people in this world who are, waiting days, weeks for their food, not knowing if they're going to get it. Not even for them, but for their kids. You're telling me that you're starving because your pizza didn't arrive within 45 minutes to an hour?
And making such a big deal.
And making a
and
big deal about it? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
talking back and everything.
So annoying. I hate that. It's like, first off, you're not starving. Secondly, calm the fuck down. Okay.
Be reasonable about, you know, what you're expecting and what you're going for, and really could apply anywhere, even in things like your goals. It's like, you know, I want to be a millionaire, but I'm not going to be overnight.
But going back to what you just said about, you know, some people have goals, you know, whether it's being a millionaire or whatever. In the end of the day, everyone wants to be successful,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So what's your meaning of success? Like, at some point in your life, when can you say, like, whatever goal it is that you want to reach, when can you say, you know what, I was successful, I made it in my own terms, whatever it may be. So what is that to you guys? Like, what's success?
Well, back in the day, I used to think like, for me, success it was like, I don't know, have a big house, you know, traveling, seeing my kids with good clothes and everything. For me, I thought it was success. Now, for me, of course, all having money and everything is important, you know, because you need it for reason, you know, for eating and everything. What I think like now for me, looking for success or wealth is really to have the time and the freedom that I'm looking for to take care of my kids and really teach them for the future. Because everything that I did back in the day, the way I was educated and everything, and I know many people say, no, it's because you're harsh on this or you're harsh on that. I understand all that. But also you need to understand the world out there is nasty. You always want to be babying your kids or teenagers or adult people. They're going to be eaten out there. They're going to be seen like a dumb person, like it has no values, like a crying baby. I'm serious. Yeah, that's why I say that, because I work with a lot of young people. And I don't say it, but other people say it. They talk shit about them all the time. They always say, oh, it's because this guy doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Okay, what the hell are you criticizing for? And why don't fucking you educate him and show him how to get the fucking things right done? Show him how to do things instead of fucking criticizing. In the same way, when a young person, 21 or 22, they gone out there to work, show some fucking respect for people that really want to teach you how to get things done. Because you think like they're fucking bothering you or picking on you. No. You need to start looking for the difference, how people is trying to help you and what people is annoying you. For me, success is someday like my kids say, I appreciate all this. And like me saying someday like, everything I'm doing good is because of my mom. That's for me success, changing another people's life.
That's a good way to look at it. And I can, it actually reminds me of some of the ways that I grew up, that I had people, especially in my family, that were trying to teach me something or trying to get me to improve on a skill that I was maybe not the best at, just floundering with it, but still interested in it.
Yeah.
And I was a very bratty kid for a long time. I can remember my dad used to be one of several coaches on our recreational baseball team. And there was a point where I was sick of him being around or instructing on things when really he was just teaching me how to play the game or how to better, you know, myself at the game. I wasn't hitting ballpark, you know, home runs or anything like that. I was very shy at the bat. And most of the time, if I was in the field, I'm in the outfield and like getting distracted or not, you know, throwing quickly enough, you know, to the next base if there's, you know, if there's something going.
Yes.
So, to be fair, even though I pushed him away from being a coach for the team or, you know, even teaching me outside of practice, that was probably not the best thing to do. just the fact that, oh, I'm not doing this right, but I shouldn't be mad at him for that. It's just, no, I need to just do it better, closer to the way that he's trying to show me, instead of just saying, no, you get out of here. And similar thing also I remember happening with my older brother, who's about 2 years older than me. and this time was soccer. And I do remember distinctly getting upset with him in a very similar way, where it's like, I'm not doing it the way that he was asking for it, so I would get upset that he was instructing me, even though he was taking his time for it. That he didn't have to be there for it. And he is, I think pretty fairly, walked away once or twice, like, all right, you're not going to respect me, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, but we don't see that at the moment, you know.
Exactly.
We never see it at the moment because it's something that is annoying us, you know. Like we think like, oh, you're speaking on me, you know, like you think I need to do this the other way and whatever, you know. Your mind at that moment is, you know, is playing with you and everything. So everything that comes to you at that moment, you see it like wrong. But after that, it's gonna be 1 month, a year, or 2 years going by, and you're gonna say, wow, this was the right way.
Yeah, success is interesting. You know, it could come from many different areas. Success to one person could be, you know, making $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Another person's success could be, you know, starting a family and raising them right. Another person's success could be made the varsity baseball team.
Yeah.
You know, so success is many stages. I believe that there are mini successes and then there's major successes, right? Yeah. So, but to get success, you have to fail a lot. You have to not achieve your goal. Yeah. That way, when you do achieve it, it's that much better. A good friend of mine on my baseball team, Garrett, which I do intend to have him on the show at some point, he sent me this photo. It says this: if you fail, never give up, because FAIL means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. In fact, end, EEND, means effort never dies. And if you get a no as an answer, remember no, N-O, means a next opportunity, right? So if you change your mindset, you'll better yourself to become successful. And that's what I did. I started thinking more outside the box. I started thinking, you know, don't be so negative all the time. Don't be thinking that the whole world is against you, even if it does seem that way. Try to pull in the positives that in your life, you know, your friends, your family that are with you, that you're lucky to have. You know, cherish those moments. And if you need advice, go to them. They'll help you out. But at the end of the day, for me, success, it's tough to really say because, yes, I want to have a family one day. Yes, I want to make a lot of money to support said family, to give my kids anything that they ever want, to give my wife whatever she would ever want. That's all great, normal goals to have, right?
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I think if I can look back at my life and say I made an impact on not just my family, but also, you know, whoever was able to, you know, meet me and build whatever relationship we have together, whether it's a work relationship, or a short friendship, a long-term friendship, whatever it may be. I'm hoping that, you know, if I look back and see that anyone who's had some sort of relationship with me can say, like, you know, Eric was a good person. Because, you know, your wife and kids, they're always gonna love you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say a bad thing about you. You might talk behind your back sometimes, but to each other. But they're always gonna have your back. I'm talking about, you know, people who you don't expect to say good things about you, and when they do, I think that means a lot more than making money.
And it really does, you know, because, and also like you say, you know, success is meaningful in different ways for other people, you know, and we gotta respect everything, you know, because everybody has a different meaning in life. What you can have, I'm not gonna have it because it's not meant for me, you know, and that's why other people can understand. You see, everybody has their own skills, their own abilities, their own performances. Just work on that, all right? Don't be like, it's like Albert Einstein says, you're gonna judge the way that fish climbs the tree. What's that supposed to mean? See, everybody's stupid then, and that's what right now in my head is always been like that. I'm trying to understand that. I cannot be continue, you know, like judging the way a fish climbs up the tree, because everybody's gonna do it different. Everybody.
Based on what you just said, everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. You know, my strengths are different than any of your strengths, and my weaknesses are different than any of yours. We might have some similarities. There might be some traits that we're both not great at, or some traits that we're all decent at. But at the end of the day, like I've said this analogy before, it's kind of like poker. You know, you gotta play your best hand. You know, everyone's given cards. You might have an ace, someone might else have a king. But they have a pair of kings, and you only have one ace. They still win.
They still win,
right?
Yeah.
So you never know what the winning hand is. But the question is, are you going to play your best hand in that moment and make the most of it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the never-ending question. Like, what's the meaning of life? And the search for that, what's the correct answer? And there is none. There is no correct answer. The correct answer is what you believe that is right for you. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. Some people can say, it's not something to joke about, but some people can say, no, fuck it, life ain't for me, and they, take their own lives. And that's true. It happens.
It's true, and it happens.
Whether
it happens a lot often.
Whether it comes from stress, depression, bullying is another huge aspect of it that can, cause someone to do this to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a shame because, every life matters. Every life, is worth living. Even if you don't see it, reach out to people that care about you. And if you need the help, always you can reach out to us. Every time we post an episode on Sundays, we put our Instagrams on there. It's not just, to add word count to the bio.
Exactly.
It's to, we're here, reach out to us. If you need anything, we're here.
Yeah, we're here, guys. Like, nobody's alone, okay? Also, we're not, telling you, we're expert on life,
Oh, we're still figuring it out.
Still
I'm 20.
figuring it out,
I'm 25 years old. It's still shit I gotta figure out.
Ashley told me, I think 3 years ago, she goes like, you're already 38 years old. You have not figured out your life. I'm like, nope. And I'm never gonna figure it out because my life is gonna continue changing.
Yeah.
It's always gonna continue changing. And I always say, when you think life has figured out, snap his fingers.
Something else changes.
Changes. You're never gonna figure out life. Never.
The book that I keep referring to by Matthew McConaughey is, the Green Lights book, and I think he's in his 50s now, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he's still figuring out life. And to a lot of people, he's very successful. Has the money, has a great house, has a family, everything that, would change our lives completely, he already has. But in the book, he explains, I'm still figuring out shit.
Yes.
He's still trying to.
Everybody does. Everybody does
make
in this
things
world.
work. So.
There you go,
And
51.
I love his. He's 51.
Yep.
I love his just short little phrase. It's just keep on living. That's it. Just keep on living. You never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, you never know who you're gonna run into. Now in these days, especially me, now I can learn from a kid. I can learn from an adult. I can learn from a homeless. I can learn from everybody. Because everybody is gonna teach you different things, It's like see, like this kid, 21 years old. I was talking to him once, and he goes, "When you say something, you always have to own it. You can never back down." And I was like, "Damn, it's totally true.
Yeah.
Once you said it, you own it.
That's
you don't
true.
back down. You said it. You said it. You say sorry. That's one thing. But you never back down. You're saying oh, no, I didn't try to do this. No, you already said it. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be accountable. You gotta be, take responsibility for when you fuck up. That's just the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is totally true.
That kind of leads into my definition of success. It's very simple. You say it, you do it.
You say it. You
And
do.
if you if you do it close to how you said it, that's success. Because that's what that's what you're out there to do. That's what you were planning to do. That was your goal.
Yes.
I've made tons of promises as a kid, into my teenage years, and now young adult. And they were small stuff. They weren't life-changing things, but I still made a commitment to them. That I put myself and said, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And whether or not it's for my benefit or for someone else, and I didn't fulfill all of them. Sometimes it's kind of cute when it's little, and you can brush it off, but still, I didn't. I sometimes think back on that. I'm like, I could have actually done this, or I may have been in over my head. I'm thinking I could do this. So I try to think a little bit more about that nowadays, where it's like, okay, if I want to do something, is it something that I can actually do? Is it something that's actually in my wheelhouse of whatever skills and talents that I have, that I can work towards that and make it a thing?
Yes.
And that could go for anything big or small. I could break something down into smaller steps and say, can I do this thing? one piecemeal at a time. Like right now, I've been moving, and yeah, it's a lot to take everything all at once, but, we're not going to get an entire one moving truck, throw everything in there as is, and then it's going to magically appear at the at the new house. Like, no, okay, let's do it piecemeal. So we've been doing drives every so often, like every few days, almost weekly, of taking just a handful of things, fill up the car, and now I've got, this room decorated, or this furniture applied, or this stuff in the storage. But I can come back and do the rest. And I can still feel good about each and every one of those getting done.
Yes.
So it's not overwhelming. I've had many times where I go to that top tier, this is the thing I want to get done, and I don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it's too much, it's overwhelming. I never itemize that and say, it's really not a big deal.
I mean, baby steps. I mean, when you work toward a goal, sometimes, saying you have to crawl before you walk before you run.
Exactly.
Right? I think going baby steps is the best option when trying to achieve your whatever goals it may be, whether it's to yourself or promises you made others.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like sometimes you do have to just go in head first and just take the plunge.
I think on that aspect, everybody is different, because I have this in my mind. Elon Musk say this once: if someone tells you to clean your room in 3 days, you have 30 days to clean your room.
Mm-hmm.
You will do it in 30 days.
Yeah.
Because you have the time, and you want to do it in 30 days because someone is telling you clean the room in 30 days. But if someone else comes to you and says you want to clean this room in 3 hours, you want to do it in 3 hours. So literally what he means is, like you say, baby steps. Yes, baby steps are perfect, but also I have learned through network marketing that baby steps many times don't work, because you start getting bored.
Yeah.
You see no progress.
There's definitely times where you have to.
So,
I guess it really depends on how baby you make each of those steps.
Exactly.
Like for some people, they can take on a bigger load than other people can. So
it's like
for me, baby steps in regards to, I'm still trying to find my career, right? And I'm starting off with, I changed my resume, I changed my cover letter. That's a baby step.
Right.
Next thing is now I've been spending the last week applying for jobs on LinkedIn. Not really hearing anything back yet, but that takes time. That's another step, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to, for example, when I used to vape a lot, I quit. And I wasn't going to be...
Congratulations.
Huh?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I quit, and it wasn't because anything, health issues. It's just more because I realized how much money I spent on these fuckers. But anyway, I could have easily said, all right, I'm going to keep vaping, but I'm going to lower the dosage, and then in time, go to 0. But that baby step can easily lead to me going the wrong way and just continue what I'm doing.
Right. That's
so
true,
I took
too.
the plunge and said, fuck it, let me go cold turkey, throw out everything that has anything nicotine in it, and so far it worked.
Yeah.
You see, but
That
this
can
is
work for
totally
some
different from addiction to get something you want to.
Well, yeah, my goal was to not vape anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's hard because
It's
you
difficult.
you quit into something.
For sure, it's difficult.
You drop in something in your life.
But my point being is,
But that's also kind of
instead
like, it's almost like the opposite, but almost the same as when you're picking up something. Say you want to get in better shape. You're not going to run 10 miles on the first day.
I did that, and I haven't ran.
See, there you go. Then you're not going to want to keep doing it. So you run the first day, maybe half a mile. Maybe the next day, or a few days from then, run a full mile. And it keeps progressing. That you bring it a bit more than what you did before. So that way your body's training itself, it's enduring, and it's going to be able to handle a bit more than what you did before, and still get to somewhere further than what you already started.
For sure.
If you're doing the same thing, if you're going to keep running half mile every few days, your body's not going to do anything. It's going to peak, and that's not
We'll get used to it.
You'll get too used to it.
You got to keep pushing yourself.
Exactly. So in the same way of when you're giving up something, some people, it can work for cold turkey, but other times cold turkey doesn't work. Where they're going to say, this is so much far back, and I'm going to feel so much different that I need to get it back into my life. Well, then you could just say have less of it over time. Just whatever
like
way to plan that out, so that way you can get acquainted with less and less than what you had done before, and realizing that yes, this was consuming a lot of what I was doing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone learns differently. Everyone, changes at different paces. So it's all a matter of whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can try the, jump in head first, go all in, or you can do the baby step version, whatever you choose. But I think at the end of the day, as long as you're making progress, whether it's leaps and bounds worth of progress or little, baby steps worth of progress.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still progress, so you should be proud of that.
At the end of the day, my thesis is, for success, it's matching up to what you set out to do. Because if you're going a completely other direction with it, that's not success. And it's okay to admit, okay, if there was an obstacle in the way and I couldn't do that, fine. But how do you get back to what you wanted, what you were going for in the first place?
But yeah, guys, like we said before, success comes in many different shapes and forms. Success is an individual thing. Don't ever compare yourself to other people, because that's their life, that's their path, that's their pace. If you feel like you're a little bit behind, that's fine. You know why? Because there's someone else that is even further behind you. If you think you're ahead, stay humble, because there's always someone better than you. But as long as you make, like I said, as long as you make progress each and every day, make good use of your time, things will work out. You don't want to rush into things. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you just want to say fuck it and take the plunge and hope for the best. But more times than not, baby steps is the way to go. When it comes to time in regards to, spending it with the people you love and care about, cherish those moments. Don't wait for when the end is near to cherish those moments. Cherish those moments right now, in the moment, whether it's your parents, your best friends you consider family, your, cousins, sisters, whatever, anyone that you care about, There's a quote that I love is, it's family isn't always blood, but the ones you're willing to bleed for. So if those people are in your life, cherish the moment, love them, support them, they'll support you, and make the most of it.
It's like swinging at the bat. You have to follow through with your swing. You can't just hold the bat out there and expect the ball to go far. You need to actually put the effort in and see it all the way from point A to point B of knocking it out of the park or getting to the next base. That you have a plan for it, that you're enjoying every bit of that you're actually growing from it, and even when your loved ones do take a turn for the worse, that you hold on to that, because they're still around as long as people are remembering them, that they're cherishing them, that there is still something that reminds others of what they were, of who they were, and what they've done for other people.
That is true. That's well said, And also, guys, don't hit yourself so hard, Like, even success is different for everybody, and you know what you want for your life. You only know what you want for your life, nobody else, all right? And like I said before, okay, it doesn't matter you run, you walk, or you crawl, you're gonna get there, right, guys? And this is for me too, many times you just doing something because you're so excited or you're more motivated. Motivation is not gonna last, okay? It's progress and it's everything, doing things every day, you see? Like myself, there's things like I do by motivations, and the next day I have to do it just by habit, because the motivation is gone. But also, there are days that I forgot to do it, but I don't hit myself no more. I'm like, okay, so the next day, I'm gonna have to do it. If I forget again,
just because you took a bump in the road doesn't
Yes.
mean I'm done. I quit.
No.
I can't do it anymore because I floundered.
So don't hurt yourself, okay, guys? Don't hit yourself. I mean, you just continue doing and everything, okay? Because the habit is gonna continue growing and forming, all right? And one thing I have seen in my life, this is, they say that to get a new habit and get rid of a bad one, it takes just 21 days to grow a new habit. That is correct. It takes 21 days to just get the habit. But the way I see it is like the seed you throw in the soil. It's gonna take 21 days to bloom. What's gonna happen the rest of the life of the plant? See? That's the hard part. because
Right,
you
yeah.
throw in the soil, you forget about it. Now you're gonna have to water it to take the weeds out,
Yep.
to take care of it, and it's grow nice and straight for 5, 6, or 7 years, wherever you plant there.
Yeah, rotate
That's
the
the
soil.
hard freaking part. It's like the same like a new habit, new thing for you. Once you get there, it's a lifestyle.
That's
It
right.
has to be in your freaking life. It's not just because, oh, I did this, now I'm gonna rest. No. You continue working and harder.
If I haven't
So
said,
get fucking used to that. Yes.
if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. Once is an isolated incident. Okay, it happened. Twice is a coincidence. Sure, we've done this before. 3 times starts to become a pattern. Okay, we're doing this and we're going to continue doing this. Any more than that, it gets to be, like you said, a lifestyle.
I can't agree more, Joe. Yeah, when it comes to it, we're here for you. If you need some advice on your success or anything it might be, our Instagrams will be in the description. Reach out to us. We're here for you. And we thank you for listening each and every week. And we'll talk to you guys soon. So peace.
Peace, guys.
Take
Take
care.
care.